I don't think that's that controversial.
Well, it is to people who aren't used to hearing that.
So today we're going to talk about something that you and I have been saying back and forth to each other a little bit, like throughout the challenge is like, well, we've got to make that our priority. And we do it with financial stuff, and we do it with like personal stuff. We do it with house things, like things that we want to, what's our first priority. And your first priority is you. So you have to make yourself a priority.
This is going to be my time. Time to taste the fruits and let the juices drip down my chin. I proclaim this the summer of George.
And I just thought maybe we could talk a little bit about how do you do that? How do you start doing it? I think with everything, we're just going to always come back to the mindset change, and saying, yes, I'm worth, working hard. It's working hard for yourself,
right?
Basically.
Well, I'm going to say something controversial. I think the first step to making yourself a priority is to be selfish.
I don't think that's that controversial.
Well, it is to people who aren't used to hearing that. Like, we know what that means,
right?
But I think that we live
do
in
like the people on YouTube when they do the little that's their little thumbnail.
we live in a society where you're taught to not be selfish. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. You share. Don't be selfish. When you do something, when somebody asks you, you do it for them. You don't say no. But the problem becomes that you become to the point where you become so selfless that you stop taking care of yourself. And if you're not well, you're not going to be well for other people.
It's a thing I've been seeing a lot. I think I told you about, like, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
And
so to be selfish, the way I'm talking about it is to say, no, I need time for myself. Friend, I would love to help you move, but maybe not this weekend.
No one ever.
Maybe not this weekend, or I can't do it today. I can help you this weekend. Does that work for you? Those type of things. And
none of your friends want to help you move.
No, that's true. You have to be able to say no. You have to be able to realize that I need time for me. I need to take care of myself first. Because if I don't, it's the same thing they always talk about the airplane safety speech. They talk about if the oxygen masks fall from the ceiling, what are you supposed to do? You adjust your mask first, then you adjust others. Because if you're passed out, you can't take care of your kids.
You can't help anyone else. Right.
So,
yeah. Well, but as a parent, your natural inclination is to go help the kid first.
But by doing that first, by putting yours on first, you are helping your kid.
Right.
In the unlikely event of a sudden change in cabin pressure,
Roof flies off.
an oxygen mask will drop down in front of you. Place the mask over your face and breathe normally.
Well, I have no problem with that. I always breathe normally when I'm in a 600-mile-an-hour uncontrolled vertical dive.
So that's something that you have to get. That's the mindset change. Is that by being healthy and taking care of myself, then I am going to be there for the people that I want to be there for.
That's a good way of looking at it, because if you're making good decisions now, you will be there in the future for your kids. I mean, the people who just live for their children, and I guess Chris and I are a little controversial because we're a little not like that with our kids. I love all our kids, don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
But we make our relationship a very big priority.
Right. We make ourselves first, then our relationship, then our children.
Right. Because if we are not good as a couple, we're not going to be good parents.
Right.
Likely. So.
And I think that's the way it probably was for a very long time.
Make yourself a priority. And if you're half of a couple, that's probably only going to make that relationship better too.
Right.
And you and I just throughout this 63 days.
63 days. Yeah.
I've had really good conversations about us as a couple, and you as an individual, me as an individual.
Mhm.
So it's really sparked good conversations to talk about, like, well, what are you going to do today? Like, it's our like 3 things, right? For whatever you're working on. And I've been starting to write down doing some more like spiritual things too, because, and I think it's something that we both really need to get into. And I think you mentioned it the other day, maybe if we do our own 75-day challenge, incorporating some of this stuff, that we would add a meditation. And
meditation is a very good way to take care of yourself.
It has to be what works for you, and what helps you make yourself a priority.
Yep.
I think
cool.
That was so good.
That was very good. Should write that down.
I'm going to write that one down.
All right. I better go before I say something.
I gotta go. We better go. Be in bed.
We'll talk to you later. Bye.